Hey, home slice. This is episode 2. Edit and grade your footage in Davinci Resolve. Boom. The first thing you see when you load up the program is it'll go into the edit window. As you can see at the bottom here, we have Media, Edit, Fusion, Color, Fairlight, and Deliver. Now, the first thing to do is actually get some footage into Davinci. So click on the Media tab at the bottom and then navigate to your footage. So you need to have your footage on your computer already. So if you haven't done that, do that now. Pop it into a folder on your computer and name each take so it's nice and easy when you have it in the program. So to bring your footage into Davinci Resolve, we need to go to the Media tab. And when you have your footage, grab it and drag it into the media pool. If you get asked this question here, the clips have a different frame rate than the current project settings, hit Don't Change. Remember, we did do a separate audio recording on the other phone. Use that because the audio that the camera phone has taken will be a bit weird because you're moving around the place and it won't sound as good. So make sure you get the audio from the phone that captured the sound. Now, if you watched the previous video, I mentioned that you needed to take a whole bunch of different takes just in case there was a problem. Now, when we did this, we actually originally selected take 3 as the one we wanted, but unbeknownst to me at the time, for some reason the file stopped halfway through. So we took a whole load of takes, but actually ended up using the first take. So this is why we did that. Hopefully if you're watching this video now and you haven't filmed yet, then you'll take loads of takes. But if you've already got your takes, hopefully you filmed some extra ones. Here's a little pro tip for you. If you haven't got the most amazing computer for video editing, then it doesn't matter, because I'm going to show you a workaround. Go to the gear icon at the bottom right hand side of the screen. Go to the project settings and master settings. And under the optimized media and render cache, select ProRes 422 LT. If you're on PC, click on DNxHR SQ and hit save. The first thing you can do before you bring the footage anywhere is select all of the takes that you want to use, right click and hit Generate Optimized Media. This will take a few minutes. And what this actually does is it makes a smaller file size of the original video so your computer doesn't struggle so much playing it. You don't lose any video quality, it's just for you editing on the screen. The next thing to do after you've optimized your media is select on the take that you actually agreed on with the artist, right click, and then say Create New Timeline using Selected Clip. And you can name that timeline. Take 1. Boom. Now you can see a new box created here, which is called Take 1 as I named it. If you double click that, we'll go into the edit window. If your computer is as slow as my 17-year-old crippled dog, then it'll need some more help. Pop to the menu bar, press playback, go to proxy mode and hit quarter resolution. So I have the footage on my timeline. This is the timeline here. It is the line of time, in case you didn't get that. The next thing to do is bring the audio into the timeline. If you cannot see the media pool, which is where your stuff is, on the top left of the screen, hit the media pool button and it should pop up there. Drag that little puppy onto the audio timeline, which is at the bottom, and match up the audio to the video. How do you match up the audio? It's pretty simple. We got to match up these two pictures here. So, as you can see, this peak here responds to this peak here. And this here is probably the start of the song there. So what we need to do is put the audio to the start. But hold on, that doesn't go. So we need to trim. Grab the front of the file, trim it back, and then you can drag that back to the right place like that. So what we'll do is we'll line up these two ending bits here. So bring the bring the playhead to that point, press on the magnifying glass, and match them up. There we go. So that should play perfectly.
One. Maybe I can't sing that song that you like. I sure sing you a song. Sing it from the heart. If you like, you can hum, sing along.
Yeah.
If you like, you can hum, sing along.
Okay, we have a video. So you could actually even just export it like that if you wanted to, if the filming was good enough throughout the take.
Got to find our way, we can share it with the world.
But we're going to do some improvements. Now what we can do is bring out the sound a little bit. It's a bit muffled at the moment, but we can make it a little bit brighter. So, click on the sound file, which is on the audio 2 track, and then you'll see this clip equalizer here. So if you cannot see that, click on the inspector button at the top right of the screen. Then click clip equalizer, and we can start playing.
I know we've all got inspiration, lies deep down within, yeah. Just got to find our way, we can share it with the world. Maybe I can't sing that song that you like. I sure sing you a song, sing it from the heart.
And all you need to do is play around with these 4 bands until it sounds more natural. Okay, so when you've got something you like, just turn off the equalizer and turn it back on again, just to make sure it's actually better.
Music lives inside of you, and I know we've all got inspiration, lies deep down within, yeah.
Okay, that's better. Now we have the audio and the video synced. Let's just trim the start just to make sure we haven't got any extra stuff on there.
Maybe I...
Okay, so we need to get rid of all that stuff at the start. So, find the very start of the song, which is, in our case here.
Maybe I can't...
And use the cutting tool, which is the razor blade, just underneath the stop button. And just cut that away. And you can go back to the selection tool or hit the A key and just select the stuff you want to get rid of. You can see there we actually lost the audio from the video, so what we'll do is undo that. Just make sure that's properly cut. There we go. Get rid of that, and there we go. Now the best thing to do now is actually link these clips together so you can't move them independent of each other. Shift click or drag over the clips, right click and hit link clips. There you go. Cool. Alrighty.
Maybe I can't sing that song that you like.
And let's make sure the end is trimmed as well. Lovely. So hit the razor tool, trim that, selection tool, delete that. Wonderful. Okay, so now let's put some titles on.
Maybe I can't.
So we'll need some extra space at the front, so just move these clips back and go to the effects library at the top left hand side of the screen, and you'll see text, and just drag that in there. Let's add the artist name first. And you can select your font. And we'll grab another text and we'll put the song name in there. The text of the song is actually all over the artist name, so how do you fix that? It's pretty simple. I'm going to do some little tweaks on the text just to make it look a bit nicer. Now this song title is monumentally long, so to just make it a little bit smaller.
Maybe I can't sing that song that you like. I'll sure sing you a song.
Okay, so we have the title at the front, and let's go to the end and do a little fade out. Grab the little tab on the top of the video track and drag it backwards. And that's a fade. Okay, so at this point you could actually just call it quits and go ahead and export it. There's a few tweaks that we can do just to make it look a bit nicer. So go to the color tab. If you can find something white in the image, it makes your life a lot easier. Click on the dropper tool at the bottom left and select on something white, and bam, the image is white balanced. If your image is a bit too dark, you can go to the curves box, grab this handle here and bring it up. But if you set it right on the day, you won't need to do this. If you want to bring some of the footage of the other takes that you did, let's go back and see how we can do that. So go back to the Edit tab. Pick one of your other takes. Scrub through some of your footage. Oh, this is scrubbing, by the way. When you found a little portion that you want to use, on your keyboard, hit the I button. And when you find the end point of the footage you want to use, hit the O key. Okay, so this is the portion that you've selected here. Drag that onto the timeline like so. Now, if you notice here, when you drag that in, it covers over the audio too. You don't want that. Let's put that over here. I'll unlink those clips, drag that one down, and then bam, there we go. We can do whatever we want then.
And I know.
Now it's best to find the right place for this to go, because it will actually match up with the visuals. Now, I'm going to zoom through this. I'll see you in a few seconds. Do you like the black bars? Here's how to do it. Go to Timeline, Output Blanking, select 2.35. At this point, you're pretty happy. Once you've lined up all of the little clips, it is a pain in the hole. Granted, it is an absolute pain in the hole. But once you've lined them all up, you are ready to go. So what's next? You want to make sure your sound output is not too low. So, go to the Fairlight tab at the bottom of the screen. Make sure you can see your mixer. And you will see your main fader here on the right hand side. So let's play the song and see where it's sitting.
If you like, come on and sing along. It's true.
Make sure you go to the loudest part of the song. That way we'll see exactly how loud it is.
Oh, it's true. Music lives inside of you.
So you can see I'm hitting around about -5 here. That means I've got 5 decibels to play with. So we can increase the fader by 5.
Ooh, and I know we've all got inspiration lies deep down within, yeah. Just got to find our way, we can share it with the world.
Now that's better. Next thing to do is export it for YouTube. Head on over to the Deliver tab. Select FedEx. So, select YouTube at the top left of the screen. Go to the File tab and name your video. Add it to the render queue. Select where you want to put it on your computer. And hit Start Render. Now that'll take a while. May take a really long while, depending on if your computer is as old as mine, or unless you have a fancier computer, a flasher computer. When it's done, you can see it and upload it to YouTube. Now, if you do have any questions, put them below.
Hey guys, what's going on? James here. I really hope you enjoyed the videos because we had great fun making them. And we're so excited to see what you guys can actually come up with yourselves following our instructions in the videos. And we're going to introduce a little bit of a competition into this, right? So how's this for you? Best video shared before the 31st of May wins a professional mix of one of your songs, right? You'll be able to send us across the stems of a studio recording and we will mix that song really, really well. We'll send it back to you guys. And all you gotta do is just be yourselves, guys. Put your creativity into it, a lot of patience. Probably have to spend a good few hours out there, get loads of takes until you get it right, okay? Follow all the stuff Robin explained to you in the video. I'm sure you guys can do something really, really cool, right? So if you liked the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, send us your feedback in the comments, hit us up on all the other social media platforms, Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and that. I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, alright? You take it easy, guys. See you later.